Thank you. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's still doing okay, awake after lunch. My name is Sherani. I'm the Manager of Sustainability across Atlantis Dubai, and that encompasses Atlantis the Palm, Atlantis the Royal, as well as Aquaventure World, our amazing water park. Today, so Radhika and the team have so kindly invited us to share some best practices, which is our Atlantis Atlas project. Now, the Atlas project, sorry, give me 2 seconds. Radhika, do you mind if I get a clicker? Yes. Thank you. Thanks, all good. So the Atlantis Atlas project houses our entire sustainability and conservation commitment. And our commitment as Atlantis Dubai is to do business in ways that are better for people and the planet. And how we do this is focused on 4 core pillars. These pillars are responsible operations. So this covers your traditional sustainability, which I'll just go a bit deeper into later on, where we seek and implement new ways of operating more efficiently. Conservation and animal welfare, this is a key aspect for us as we are home to 65,000 marine animals at Atlantis Dubai. Education and awareness, because we want to share what we learn and we want to inspire others to follow in our journey as well. And of course, we have our CSR. This is what we do for our communities. This is what we do for our colleagues. When we talk about responsible operations at Atlantis Dubai, the focus areas include responsible sourcing, our waste management, our water management, as well as our energy and carbon reductions. When we look at conservation and education, this is how we support field conservation through our One USD program, where every time a guest participates in a marine animal program at Atlantis Dubai, we contribute $1 to marine projects and partners driving conservation and sustainability. We just announced our partners this year, including a $1 contribution of $126,000. We also focus on scientific advancement. We want to know how we can support the conservation community better, and also animal welfare practices and land use planning and management. In terms of education and awareness, we focus on 4 key stakeholder groups, our colleagues, our guests, youth, and the communities we operate within. And then when we talk about CSR, it's our diversity and labor practices, our learning and development opportunities for our colleagues, as well as our commitments to compliance. So since 2019, we've been Check certified. In 2019, we did our initial benchmarking for Atlantis the Palm as well as Aquaventure World. And this year, we are officially Check Gold for the first time. So following 5 years of certification through Check, which essentially provides us a very robust and rigorous set of standards, which are aligned with the GRI standards, the GHG protocol in terms of science and evidence for the calculations. And Atlantis the Royal, just 1 year after opening, is Check Silver certified as well. So I'm just rushing through this a bit because I think we have just the 10 minutes. So we just wanted to share a few successes that have worked for us. And considering the volumes that we operate within, none of this would have been possible if not for our Green Committee. So we have a Green Committee, which is represented by key business units at a senior level of directors and VPs, who essentially drive sustainability in their respective departments. So our current Green Committee, which is evaluated every year based on our priority areas in terms of sustainability, would include representation across procurement, across facilities, which is our engineering teams, across marketing, and other key aspects. So some of our key successes is a 1.2 megawatt solar power plant, which contributes renewable energy to Atlantis the Palm, as well as Aquaventure World. And last year, this resulted in the elimination of 767 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. We have, of course, building management systems, which are also coupled with, which I thought was a really cool thing, automatic on-off systems. So essentially, you open up a room, your air conditioning goes off, you close the balcony door again, and the air conditioning comes back on. So minor details like this really contribute to significant savings when you think about the scale of the operation. We have filters on our freshwater systems. So this is in our pools and as well as in the water park. which is a special filtration system that has resulted in up to 90% water savings for us. An in-house water bottling plant. This was launched in 2022, and at a capacity of 800 liters of water produced per hour. We eliminate roughly 2.7 million single-use plastic water bottles, and this was in our commitment to the Dubai Can Initiative. And in this commitment, we have also committed to eliminating all single-use plastic water bottles across Atlantis Dubai by the end of the year. So our recycling efforts include cooking oil, cigarette butts, and soap, as well as your traditional recyclable material, where we're trying to really create that culture of circularity within our operations. In terms of food waste, a key aspect for us, we have implemented AI technology across our all-day dining restaurants, and this has resulted in up to 40% of our excess food production compared to the baseline when we initially started in 2022. This keeps increasing year on year just because the chefs have gotten so accustomed to it and really value the information coming from it and are able to take data-driven decisions in terms of menu engineering. We prioritize local sourcing by working with some very, very innovative partners and setting quite ambitious targets considering the regional challenges. So in 2023, 36.52% of our perishables was sourced locally from within the UAE. And our target for this year is 40% to increase to that. We have partnered with SFS Trace. This is a digital platform that enables seafood traceability. Not to be confused with seafood sustainability, traceability is where we're essentially looking at and requesting for information of where our seafood is coming from. We want to know how it was caught, when it was caught, who it was caught by, and when it came to us. This allows our chefs to make more responsible choices to ensure that we're not affecting the marine environment in our sourcing choices. We have 72 Atlantis Atlas ambassadors. These are colleagues across all of our departments, and they essentially drive sustainability in their relevant departments. So a few challenges which I think a lot of us can attest to here. One being the changing regulatory landscape. In terms of using renewable energy, for example, so 1.2 megawatt solar power plant was the limitation in terms of regulation as well as our rooftop space. So this creates a bit of a challenge for us. The regional challenges accounting for the volume that we operate within. Atlantis The Palm has 1,544 rooms, Atlantis The Royal 795. So it creates a significant challenge that it's an interesting challenge. It gives us a lot more to work on, and it also provides us the opportunity to really tap into economies of scale here and really implement those that way. Limited retrofitting capacity. Atlantis The Palm is a bit of an older property, and while we work on increasing energy efficiency in those aspects, it does come with some limitations based on the innovations that are currently available in the market. The good thing with Atlantis the Royal was that it was essentially a blank slate for us, and it opened with high energy efficient and state-of-the-art equipment that helps reduce our energy consumption. And of course, the high investment required for decarbonizing efforts. In terms of our pathway to net zero, this is something that we are focused on. So the past few years, check has allowed us to measure our scope 1 and 2 emissions. And next year, our plan is for a complete greenhouse gas inventory across all 3 scopes to be able for us to set reduction targets in line with our parent company as well. So mapping emissions associated with our supply chains when it comes to scope 3, investing into further renewable energy generation on site, as well as continuing with retrofitting with more energy efficient equipment for all the systems, looking at ways of enhancing water security by reducing our dependence on potable water, looking for alternate solutions to run renewable fuel sources. This also comes from more like the previous equipment and stuff that we have used, which does require non-renewable energy. But this is something that we're looking at to explore what's currently available in the market for us to be able to implement. And of course, reducing waste to landfill by diverting food waste. We're looking at multiple options here. Again, because of the challenge we have with the volumes we operate within, we're looking at multiple aspects of both composting systems like the ones that we were privileged to hear about earlier on, and also off-site composting systems working with partners who essentially compost waste offsite and then distribute the compost among local farmers. That's it from me. Happy to take any questions if anyone has any. Glass bottles, currently, we have the glass bottles from the water bottling plant at all rooms in Atlantis the Palm, as well as in our half-board restaurants. That's currently being expanded by the end of the year, early next year, to Atlantis the Royal as well. Thank you. Yes? Yeah, maybe. I think I can hear you.
Here we go. Thank you. Perfect. Should I introduce myself? No. Just having such a huge water park, because we are facing the challenge right now in Saudi Arabia at the Red Sea Global as well. Do you have any kind of data of how much water loss you actually have operating such a huge water park when it comes to evaporation or other sources of loss actually in the environment?
That's a really good question. It is something that we have looked into. We haven't been able to tone down on the exact science behind it. But yeah, evaporation has, not just in our water park, but also from the number of pools that we have across the property. But it is something we're looking at in terms of our water security in the next year.
Hi there. You mentioned a 1.2 megawatt solar farm. I was just wondering where that was located.
So it's on the rooftops of Atlantis the Palm,
Okay.
as well as along our service road on Aquaventure. It's about 2,178 panels
Perfect.
that make up that.
And your approach to sustainability, is that driven by Kersner? Yeah, Kersner's your owner, is that right? No.
So we
Apologies.
are under the Kersner. No, not at all. We operate under the, we're managed by Kersner, but the sustainability and the Atlantis Atlas project is very much bespoke to Atlantis Dubai.
You were talking about some water filtration system we changed and which you saved around 90%. Can you give small light about this? What is the filtration system or what filter you changed?
They're called Defender filters, and they essentially replace traditional sand filters. I don't know the exact science behind it, but I can definitely share with you further information if you want to leave your information with Radhika.
Thank you, thank you. No problem.
Yep, so there is a digital dashboard, and it essentially tracks all 2,178 panels. So the second that there is, say, one's not performing at its optimal level, it essentially gives us an alert, and then our facilities systems address it at that point. Oh, you mean like drones and stuff? No. No, not an automatic cleaning system. A manual process, yes.
Right, everyone.
Thank you.